Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of season 2, episode 6. Everything Sports podcast.
Yeah, I saw about 6 of balls again.
Yeah, dude. So, what happened was?
What happened was?
I didn't even go through the video to see what happened. It just said reconnecting after a while.
Yeah,
and it only recorded 15 minutes.
We were sitting down here for like 45, though, like 45. 50.
Yeah, it was a good. So I don't even remember what we were talking about.
I don't know.
And a lot of things changed.
Yeah, I just wrote up a new thing because a lot of the stuff that we were going to cover is still relevant to today.
Yeah.
So,
we'll start from.
Do you want to start with baseball?
Yeah, let's start with baseball.
Probably about 10 years.
Harry Carpenter, man.
The last big home run like this I can remember wasn't even in the playoffs. It was J.D. Martinez coming back from that injury, and he hit like a 2-run or a 3-run home run in a pinch hit at bat. I think it was a pinch hit at bat, and go ahead home run in the top of the ninth, 3-run shot from Harry Carpenter.
I'm not going to lie though. We can both agree on this.
What?
That last pitch of the inning.
Oh, the last pitch of the game? That was not a strike.
That was not a strike. Okay, we're on the same page.
It was like at his shins.
Yeah, my grandma and I looked at each other and we were like, "That's not a strike."
No, yeah.
So we could at least agree with that.
There were a couple pretty nasty calls earlier too in that last half inning. There was one that was outside that shouldn't have been a strike, and there was that last.
Well,
one.
At least he was calling it bad for everybody.
It is true. Yeah, he had a. So what was interesting is both of the catchers last game, Austin Hedges, I'm pretty sure, was the Indians catcher, and then Jake Rogers. They're both really good receivers of the baseball, so they can like frame the pitch really well and make it look like a strike when it's not. So you kind of had two guys who were really good at that.
Yeah. So I was talking about this with my grandma as well. So this was a series of 5.
Yeah.
Does it go into other series of 5 and then the World Series?
No, so it goes this series of 5, then 7, then a 7 series for the World Series. So this is the last shortened series.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is the 7 series against the guys who will be going? Or?
It'll be against the winner of the Royals and the Yankees.
Okay.
So that whoever wins that will go to the World Series.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, we're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I was like thinking it was a series of 5, like this series of 5, another series of 5, and then.
No, yeah, it's 2 back-to-back 7 games.
Okay, yeah. All right, that makes more sense.
And then, we're taking the series back to Detroit though on Wednesday. I think it's a 4:00 start or something like that.
Oh,
so that'll be a good one.
Be messy down
there. Dude, it is. I was maybe gonna get tickets for the game on Thursday. See if I can go to the game on Thursday.
That's gonna be an expensive ticket.
Yeah, but it's worth it if we can win.
Yeah.
And if that's the game that sends us to the ALCS.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's a 4:00 game.
I think it's a 6 o'clock game. I was maybe gonna try to take work off. If you want to go, if you want to see my tickets.
We'll check it.
Yeah.
I'm in my bye week, so I get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off of football, and like I told you, I took Friday off of work.
Yeah.
So Adam's going to that game.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I was like, whichever, because Wednesday, like tomorrow, will be kind of like early. Plus, I'm not gonna be able to go to the game tomorrow, and so Thursday will be the only day that I would be able to go, but I have to take work off. So I'm gonna have to maybe see if my boss will let me take that day off, or maybe leave early. Like I come in early and leave early. I could probably do that. But yeah. So yeah, that game was crazy though. It was scoreless until the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah. So I literally got home. I forget what I was doing. It was the last inning, and I was like, "Who's up to bat?" Because I was making food in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And my grandma was watching it. I was like, "Oh, who's up? Who's batting right now?" And she's like, "Oh, it's the Tigers." And I'm like, "What's the score?" She's like, 0-0. I'm like, "How many out?" She's like, 2 out. And I was like, making food. And she's like, "Oh my God." I was like, "What happened?" She's like, 3-run home run.
Yeah.
I was like, are the Tigers still in bat? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought like the Guardians did it. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. All of those base runners came with 2 outs as well. So we had Jake Rogers hit a single, and then I can't remember who after that hit a single, but then Carpenter goes up.
Yeah.
He smashes one.
And then I took a break out of the kitchen to watch the final, like, strike happen. And then I was like, oh.
Struble had a perfect game going until, like, I think the top of the 6th inning.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which, I don't know, it would have been bottom of 6, but still. And it was weird because I was in the car and I was listening to it, and I heard Dan Dickerson say, Scuble's been perfect through 5 so far. And I was like, shush, I don't say anything. And very next half inning, he comes back and someone hits a single on him.
I will say, that's one of my favorite parts about work. Sorry, not that, but like whenever a Detroit team does well or anything, everybody's just like so much more happier.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, I had one of my coworkers text me about the game, and he's not really a baseball fan. And he was like, I tuned in to, I watched that replay and, like, watched the later half of that game because it was intense.
Yeah, I was talking to people at work. I was like, so that last pitch, huh? And they're like, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I was like, hey, man, if he gave it to us, he gave it to us.
There was also a very controversial catch in that game, too, by Stephen Kwan, the left fielder. He, I think it was 2 outs, and he, dove for the ball, and he caught it off his backhand. And to me, it looks like he caught it, but there are a lot of people online, and, I was listening to the late-night radio, and on 97.1, and he was like, we'll count that one from Stephen Kwan, because that was a hit. And I was like, really? And I looked, I'd seen the replay, and it looked like he had caught it. So I went back and I looked at it, and I was like, it looked like he caught. It looked like it maybe hit the tip of his glove, but it hit the leather and bounced up into his glove. But it did hit his glove, and he did catch it. It looked like, but it was very close because it was it happened so fast, and the Tigers ended up challenging the play too. So,
you know what?
I think that was the top of the 7th or top of the 8th, something like that.
Oh, all right. So, do we want to re-talk about college football?
We could if you want. I was just going to talk about how Army and Navy are both undefeated.
Yeah, I thought I sent you something. I must have just sent it to you
on Instagram.
Yeah. Don't play it because we might get taken down. But it was both Army and Navy are undefeated. They're going to the American Championship game.
The AAC, and then they play each other the next game afterwards.
So what happens, say Army wins the American.
Yeah.
And then when they play each other again the next week, Navy wins. So they'll both be 13-1 at that point. So what happens then?
I don't know. I mean, it'd be really cool to see both of them in the playoff. If they ended up getting into the if they stayed undefeated and played this well throughout the year, it'd be really, really cool to see both of them in the playoff, or even just one of them.
Well, it's definitely going to be one of them, probably.
Actually, let me see what the rest of their schedule looks like.
That would be the craziest thing in college football this year.
Yeah. Do I have Army saved? I do have Army saved.
Speaking of which, I might be wrong, but I got Oregon against Ohio State this weekend.
Really?
It's in Oregon. 7:30. 7:30 at night in Oregon.
What jerseys are Oregon wearing? Because that usually plays a factor. I saw something somewhere. It's Oregon is such and such record when they wear a green home jersey versus when they wear a yellow home jersey. But the rest of Army's schedule, you have UAB, East Carolina, Air Force, North Texas, Notre Dame, UTSA, and then the Army-Navy game.
They're wearing, I believe they're wearing the Black Fly era uniforms.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I remember seeing some. It was like a stat I saw on Instagram somewhere. They were like, Oregon in big games when they wear a yellow jersey is less likely to wear versus when they wear a green jersey. And then like sometimes they wear like the white homes as well.
Right. Yes, talking is part of a podcast.
Oh yeah, audio format.
Yep.
I'll see what Navy has up next too. So that's the rest of Army's schedule, and then
They're
Navy
wearing
has,
black. They are wearing black.
They're wearing black ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't talk about them wearing black on the post that I saw, but still, who knows? I mean, that'll be a good game regardless of whether it was in Buckeye Stadium or whether it was in.
It does help that's in Oregon.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking Oregon got it.
Yeah.
I'm watching that game.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll be watching that game too. You said 7:30?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll have to tune into that then. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Michigan is versus Illinois.
Michigan is a bye week.
Oh,
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a bye week this week, and then play Oregon or Illinois next week.
Oh.
10-19 is the next game. Yeah, so it'll be next weekend.
Oh, so Michigan and I have the same bye week.
Yeah, you were talking about that in the last podcast when we.
Oh,
it probably was before it cut or after it cut.
Oh, yeah.
But we play. Oh, dang, that game's gonna be on CBS or Paramount Plus.
I have both.
That's weird. It's a 3:30 game in Illinois. Interesting.
That's 21 versus 23, unless Illinois wins again and it gets ranked higher.
Apparently we're 24 now.
What?
It says 24.
All right, so 24 against 23.
If the standings would load, of course, now the standings aren't loading. But yeah, it says 24 versus 23 now, and Illinois is ranked higher than us.
Yeah, well,
unfortunate.
So Texas, not surprising. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Georgia, Miami barely fucking won, and yet they get higher.
Right.
Alabama went down 6. Tennessee went down. Ole Miss, Clemson, Iowa State's highly ranked. They're 5-0. BYU is highly ranked, number 14. Boise is number 17. Indiana is number 18. Missouri went down to 21.
That's where we were at last week. It's something like 21. I don't know. That's weird.
We went down 14 points.
That's crazy. Ooh. On the verge of being not ranked.
And the top 16 teams make it to the playoffs.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it would really suck if Michigan doesn't make it to the playoffs in the first.
I mean, like we were saying, though, like that usually happens with teams that win the CFP because you have
Georgia did it.
Yeah, but I mean, you have like a lot of teams will lose players, like lose seniors and stuff like that. Their coaches will leave after they win a national championship. Like, look what happened with Clemson. Like, yeah, Dabo Swinney stayed there, but he lost a lot of players to the NFL. LSU, same deal. Georgia, Bama.
Too. Right, well, and Oregon was going to get fired.
Right, yeah, and then Oklahoma when they won it a few years, like a couple years, or like maybe like 8 years ago at this point, something like that. They had sucked for a couple of years after that too. So like, there's teams that do well after because they have like the reinforcements, or they have like a one-off year where they do really, really good, and then they have those players mature even further into the next year, like Georgia or Bama, and then you have teams like us or like LSU or Clemson who have seniors leave and players and coaches leave and they don't do well next year.
It's just disappointing.
No, yeah. I mean, shit. Look what happened with Washington. Washington's in this kind of the same boat, except they won, but still, like
Yeah.
But the rest of Navy's schedule though, they play Charlotte, Notre Dame, Rice, South Florida, Tulane, East Carolina, and then the Army-Navy game.
So the hardest game is Notre Dame.
No, they both play Notre Dame. And then I'd say maybe Tulane is a difficult game. They're 4-2. And that's pretty much it. Everyone else is beatable. And then, so you really could see Army-Navy both be 13-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And both maybe get into the playoffs as well.
Yeah. Is that it for college football? I don't got really any more college football now.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's move on to, unless there's like hockey. You want to talk about?
There is a little bit. So the Red Wings finalized most of their roster. There are a couple of regular season games that happened. It was between the New Jersey Devils and the Buffalo Sabres over in Prague, Germany. Or Prague. No, I think Prague is in Czechoslovakia or Czechia. Or what? Right?
Prague is
Yeah.
a city in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Or Croatia.
Czechia. Yeah, yeah.
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, well, technically Czechia, because there's Czechia and Slovakia, but it used to be Czechoslovakia. But the Red Wings finalized some of the roster. They cut some younger players and sent them back to the AHL. Nate Danielson, the draft pick from last year, that Heisman pick, he's already in the AHL. It was pretty good. And then we have, I think it's 6 or 7 goalies on the active roster right now, or that we can use on the active roster, which is just crazy. We have Jack Campbell, who was recently enrolled into the player assistance program. You have Cam Talbot, Alex Lyon, Billy Husso.
I just realized we're both holding BB guns.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody can tell because... So, the setup we have now, it's in my mom's basement.
Right.
But I want to fix it up. And we'll fix it up pretty soon, I think. We'll discuss more about that off camera, but this will officially be the studio.
Yeah.
The studio, because I don't like paying for rent.
Right, now, yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
21-year-old.
But, so, the three goalies the Red Wings have officially on the roster are Billy Husso, Alex Lyon, Cam Talbot. That's what we thought it was going to be. But we have, I think, 3 or 4 other goalies waiting in the wings, like Sebastian Cossa. Who else? There was another young pick that we had. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But, yeah, lots of different players.
Oh, nothing. I was just looking at how far we're into it so far.
Oh.
We're only 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Only 2. Oh, well. It's actually gone by kind of fast, to be honest with you. I thought we would be 9 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, dang. So that's like half the time.
I must be tired.
Yeah. My knee is gone.
Mm.
And then, Bruins and Panthers are up right now, actually. I'm looking at the hockey news. But so another baseball news, there was a game between the Padres and the Dodgers. So it was the NLDS, the NHL or NL Divisional Series. Yeah, and it was in Dodger Stadium, and Dodger fans. I'm not sure how it happened. Actually, it was there was a robbery from this one guy named Jurickson Profar in the outfield, and people just started throwing stuff onto the field. They were throwing like.
When you said
beer.
When you said robbery, I thought you were going to talk about how the pitcher for the Dodgers got mugged.
Oh no, yeah, that too, yeah. Who was it?
I don't know. It was him and his wife. That's all I know.
I don't think
it was just on the news.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. But yeah, got his watch stolen. Got his watch robbed off of him.
Oof.
But
probably a good watch.
Oh yeah, you hope so. And then so there was a delay in the game, and it lasted for 7 minutes. A delay needs to last for the game to be forfeited is 15 minutes. So they were halfway there to that forfeit mark in a playoff game.
Oh,
And I think it was a close game. So there was one game that wasn't very close. Like the game one of the series, I think was it was 10-2 Padres. They won that one in game 2, and then the first one was 5-7 Dodgers. So it's even. The series is even right now. And then they go back to San Diego for game 3. But yeah, it was a chippy game. There was also Manny Machado threw a ball at the Dodgers dugout, like at the fence in front of the dugout, and there was like lots of chirping. Jack Flaherty, from the former Tiger guy who got traded to the Dodgers, he right away just started yelling at the team.
Yeah.
He just started yelling at the Padres players on the field. That was fun. Definitely be tuning into that game later on because they were all late games. So like I would hear about them, but I wouldn't watch them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would watch like the 5 or 7 o'clock games between the Mets and the Phillies. Those have been good games as well.
Wow, that had some punch to it. CTE is a thing.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So, is that all you got? Well, besides the NFL stuff that you want to talk, is there any NFL stuff you want?
Not really. I mean, the Lions are on a bye week this week. We have Vikings next week.
Well, I mean, we're playing Dallas this week.
All right.
Yeah. Because our bye week was literally ended. What today?
Oh yeah. Yesterday was our bye week. Yeah, that's right. I'm thinking today's still Saturday because we recorded last Saturday. But we still played. We played
Dallas
in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got that. I really do.
We better because the last time I played the Cowboys was that
I don't want to talk about it. The game
Bad
that will live in infamy.
Right. Yeah. I think wasn't that the last game of the year, or second to last game of the year, or something like that.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah. And it had to be like closer to the end of the season because I saw the billboard that said 13-4.
Yeah.
We don't care about that 12-5 record. We should have been 13-4.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what are we right now this year? We are 3-1.
Yeah.
So I mean, and we have Cowboys, Vikings. Those are two tougher opponents.
Vikings is really tough.
Yeah, Vikings are going to be tough,
now.
Tough game.
There was a couple things I wanted to talk about. Robert Saleh is no longer the head coach.
Dearborn native.
Yep. Devontae Adams is
probably going to get traded.
He requested a trade and they're working on a deal right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's probably going to go to the Jets.
Yeah, I would assume so. Aaron Rodgers, father time isn't looking great for him.
Fuck no.
Especially when he played for the Vikings, dude. Did you see the way he got hit and started crawling?
Dude, yeah.
That's how I woke up Monday morning.
Did you see Josh Allen? They were thinking Josh Allen got knocked out on the field.
Yeah.
Which, you see the whole thing with Tua and stuff like that and just kind of makes you, ugh.
Yeah.
Because those are two very skilled
the first year that they let players wear the Guardian caps is when everything starts popping off.
Everything hits the fan, yeah.
It's a little bit too...
They did say that if you use those Guardian caps, you're 60% less likely to get a concussion.
Yeah.
So
I wore them.
Oh, yeah.
They add like 10 pounds to your helmet, it feels like.
Yeah. That's one of the things that deters players from wearing it is it throws your balance off.
Yeah, they actually suspended Derwin James because he was playing too recklessly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could throw your balance off and then you could slide in front of you if it falls off or something.
Yeah.
Like that, so.
And me and my coworkers were talking about this today. Every time the Lions play somebody, and that team wins,
yeah,
the next week they lose.
What do you mean?
So you know how the Buccaneers, we lost to the Buccaneers?
Yeah. Oh, the next week they lost.
They lost to the Eagles the next week. Or they lost to somebody the next week, or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only instance this year though so far.
Yeah, but it happened last year too.
Right.
A while ago. I thought that was cool. You know.
I mean, yeah. Usually, a lot of teams when they play us will get beat up.
Exactly.
But yeah, like a lot of teams that after they play us, like a couple of players will go down. They'll face injuries. We'll have injuries too. I mean, that's evident in the past few games.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy we kind of had the bye week because everybody was getting injured. But the problem is, we still got what 13 more games.
Yeah,
That's a lot of football.
It is. Yeah, I mean, that's more than 3/4. That's almost 3/4 of the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, and we have still I think all of our divisional matchups yet too.
Yeah, dude, the Vikings is going to be rough.
Vikings are going to be rough. Jordan Love coming back, that might be difficult. You never know how Caleb Williams performs against us because we don't do well against running quarterbacks. Yeah, we have a lot to look forward to, a lot to nail bite over.
Yeah. I don't know. That's about it for sports. I think. I have. I know.
We didn't talk about it when it happened, but Derrick Rose retired.
Oh.
Yeah. One of the better point guards in recent history.
Yeah. How old was he?
Not very old. I think he was like 35, 36, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember that was like the first, like that wave of NBA players. I remember was like the next generation. Like LeBron, D Wade, Anthony Davis. Who else?
A lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
A lot of good motherfuckers.
Yeah.
A lot of Hall of Fame motherfuckers. Some Hall of Fame motherfuckers.
Yeah, some of those guys are Hall of Famers. And then like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, like all those guys coming into the league, and Derrick Rose was one of them. He was one of the like MVP, one of the youngest MVPs in the league. I'm pretty sure of all time. Yeah, he was really good. And it sucks that he was just never the same. He was just never got back to his form, which is unfortunate because you see a lot of that in sports. You see a lot of players just get injured and not come back the same.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's reality. Like that's never been any different. But
yeah, my hamstring's never been the same since I tore it.
Right. Yeah. Like whenever I stand still for too long, my knee starts to get tense.
Yeah.
So it's just there's different things that every athlete struggles with.
We're acting like we're fucking old yet. We're old heads.
Yeah, we're only 22 years old.
But
I mean, a lot of that though, a lot of getting to the leagues and getting those bigger leagues is luck.
Yeah.
Like just luck with injuries specifically because you can get injured. Like let's say there's a kid who goes out and he has like a great middle school, great high school career, and then his senior year he goes out and he blows out his ACL.
He ain't going. Depending on who the player is.
Yeah, he still go to college.
If you're number one in the nation, he'll still go somewhere.
Yeah, but if you're being looked at, if you're like a 4-star, 3-star, and you blow out your ACL or something like that,
you might become a 2-star real quickly.
Right? Yeah, you might be going to Division 2.
Yeah,
if not into a Division 1 right
or
now.
JUCO.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, and a lot of those players.
And then depending on the injury, dude, they can't come back.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, and a lot of the injuries will build up too. Like, if you're a quarterback, you can break your foot. You can, twist your tear an ACL or Achilles or something like that. Have like a shoulder injury or something like that, or have a couple concussions or something like that. And it's just all how the player can handle that and can come back from it.
And
if you have injuries that are stacking up on each other like that, by the time you get to the league, those will catch up to you.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to.
And I think a lot of it, when it comes down to that, is what are you able to get physical therapy wise at that?
Right. Yeah. How fast you heal, how severe the injuries are.
Yeah, because if you're a kid in rural town, like a real small town, but you're getting looks and everything.
Yeah.
But you're screwed. But
Right.
if you're say like a kid in LA and you're balling out at like modern day or whatever, and you get like a pretty bad injury like an ACL, you'll still be all right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you'll still be all right.
I feel like you might. There's a double-edged sword to that, because if you're in like a rural area, if you're in like a not so populated area, and you don't have the best treatment, you could still maybe be looked at more than a player who's in those highly populated areas, because you will get better treatment if you're in those areas, but at the same time, there's a lot more competition.
Yeah.
So let's say you get injured and someone the very next year,
your backup just starts balling out.
They start balling out. Now eyes are going to be on them less so than you. Versus if you go up in freaking Nebraska or something like that, and you're really good and you get an injury, you're more likely to be looked back on and say, "Hey, how's this kid doing? Has he recovered good from his injury and stuff like that?" Less likely than someone who's from a highly populated area.
Yeah, I mean that goes the same with a lot of anything. There's double-edged swords to everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to be the shorter sports podcast, but now we can move into the everything part.
Yeah.
Or a little bit.
What do we want to?
I was telling my friends when I went up to Northwood.
Yeah.
They're like,
"Oh yeah, I have something I can talk about too." Go ahead.
We were, Cottage Creamery. That place we went to. Well, the trail at Northwood that you can walk to Cottage Creamery from Northwood,
right,
through the trails and whatnot. We went at like 7 or whatever. We were walking, and by then it was like dark out. And my friend Josh, he goes, "You know how I know you grew up in the city? Because you're not scared of the woods." I was like, I am the guy that will just go off on side quests up north.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of true for me though, because I used to be scared of the woods when I was younger because it was just dark and you don't know what's out there. But now that I've gotten older, it's like you kind of know what's out there. Like you can hear, you can see.
I was like at Northwood, the biggest thing you're going to run into right now is like a coyote.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
Well, the coyote ain't going to come up to 3, decent sized human beings.
No, yeah. Speaking of that, so I was watching a Joe Rogan podcast earlier. So he has this one guy on there. I can't remember what his last name is. It's something with an R.
Right?
No. His name is Paul something. Paul Rest. I don't know. But he's a conservationist, I'm pretty sure. He works in the Amazon. So he has like these big patches of the Amazon that he looks after, and he goes on expeditions and stuff like that to talk to different uncontacted tribes and stuff like that. He was telling how he woke up one day and it was like dark outside, and he heard something rustling like next to him.
Is his last name Galliente?
No. He had Galante. Forrest Galante is not the same dude. But so he was sleeping in the Amazon. He just he woke up, and next to him he heard like breathing, and he heard like growling next to him.
Oh, what a sexy beast!
It was a jaguar.
Oh,
yeah. So he woke up, and it knew that it kind of woke up, or it knew that he woke up. So it growled in his ear and like huffed in his ear, and it was kind of, he equated it to him kind of like telling him, "Don't you fucking move." Like, I just wanted to check out what was over here. I just want to see what was going on.
If you move, you go.
Right, yeah. If you move, you're dead. And he said it was like 6 inches from his face. And I was like, holy shit. And
imagine one of us just wake up and we're like, oh!
Dude, I mean, that kind of happened. Because there was one time where I was walking around at the house, and I woke up before anyone else. It was 5 in the morning, just at dawn. And I looked outside. There were 3 deer outside.
Well, at your place, it makes more sense. Because if we're going off alone, we should probably have a gun or something.
Yeah, up in that area, yeah. Because there's literally everything on the list is up there by my house. Yeah. Bears, wolves, mountain lion.
the thing was, I was talking to them, but I was like, yeah, we were talking one day, and they're like, maybe you should get a gun and bring it up north with you, because I do go off, while we were just chilling at the fire. I was like, oh, I'm going to go take a piss, and I'm going to go that way real quick.
Well, going off at night is worse than going off during the day because there's obviously a lot more room for error at night.
Oh, yeah.
Typically, a lot of those predators will hunt at night.
Yeah.
So,
dude, your place gets scary at night.
Right, yeah. But that's what, I kind of get used to it because, you can hear.
Oh, like
there are packs of wolves that you can hear, in the woods and stuff like that, but they're, miles away.
Yeah.
But you can hear them, they'll, do roll call. So, one will listen, howl over here, and you hear, the rest of the pack over here, on the other side of the highway.
I mean, it's different because we're not up there all the time. So,
yeah.
But when I get to your place, and it gets at night, and we're, having a fire or whatever.
You're checking over your shoulder.
Yeah. And then you heard me say it. Now, granted, I was probably drunk. I was like, man, that's scary as shit. I'm going to go in it.
Right, yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, but so go back to the thing with the Jaguar. So there was this guy on the podcast was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, they won't fuck with humans, jaguars, because a lot of the stuff, for a couple of reasons, because a lot of the stuff that they hunt is horizontal. There's different types of deer in the forest and stuff like that. They go after capybara, there's. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff they go after are quadrupeds versus we're bipedal. So what the jaguar will do is they'll go for the jugular underneath, and then they'll break the neck on top. Versus when they see us, we're physically taller than they are, but we're not bigger than we are, and they'll just they won't know how to attack us.
It's the same thing with sharks. Now, granted, sharks are way bigger than humans, but when I went shark diving, they were like, hey, if one gets close to you and you're feeling uncomfortable, just get as big as possible.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be like, oh shit.
Right, yeah, because
and they're they don't have depth perception.
Well, a lot of their their eyes are on the side of their head, so they don't have very good binocular vision.
All they can see is say you look normal,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden you get bigger, by spreading out. They're like, oh shit.
Right, yeah, because a lot of the the sharks don't have very good binocular vision. They have the eyes more on the side of their head, so they can look this way. So that's why when they go past you, they swim past you and look out with one eye. But then if you get big and you encompass both their frame of binocular vision and getting their peripheral vision, then it's oh shit, this thing's a lot bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
And another thing with the big cats and shit like that is another reason why they won't necessarily go for you is because they know what they are. The jaguar knows what a jaguar is, so it's I can just go anywhere else in the forest and find food. I'm not going to be hurt. They have to be really hungry and really desperate to go after you.
Yeah.
Plus, they don't know what you are.
At the end of the day, if it's a predator, if it wants you.
Right. Yeah, but it's they won't go out of their way.
Some other animals will.
Right. No. Yeah. I was looking at a chart and it was
hippos won't do that shit.
Oh yeah. But there was the different big cats. It was will it attack you just off a whim, just randomly? And it was lions, yes, because lions are more pack hunters. They know they can take you down. Tigers, not necessarily, because it's kind of the same principle. It's they know that they can find food elsewhere. They know what their food source is.
Tony the tiger seems so nice, and then he just bites your hand off.
Yeah. And then
fuck you, Tony.
Mountain lions, from my house. Mountain lions will completely they'll go after you because they're used to taking down caribou, deer, moose.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So yeah.
I thought you were going to say the opposite.
No. Yeah. They'll go after you definitely. And another thing is they're the apex predator. They're one of the apex predators up there. Versus you have a jaguar and a leopard.
Those bears were quite adventurous.
Oh yeah,
at the bear ring and shit. Well, that little one scared the shit out of me
because they know that they're the biggest fucking thing in the woods, so they're not afraid.
I gotta see if I still have that video. If I don't, you gotta send it to me, or somebody's gotta send it to me. We have to have videos of those baby bears going crazy with each other.
Oh yeah,
Like have zoomies around the fucking pen or whatever.
The one bear was like clinging onto the dude's leg, and he was like walking in like a kid, like on his leg, like a kid would.
And then the other one bit his finger. He's like, enough of that.
Yeah, he's like, don't do that. And he picked him up by the scruff and then held him like a baby and just like walked him back over.
And the other one was swinging on his hand. Like, they look adorable, scary as hell though.
In like 9 months, they're gonna be fucking probably as big as us.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like because like you saw like the yearlings, like the 1-year-olds. Those were even fucking big. And then when we were walking by through the woods, we saw like the bigger ones.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't care that there's a fence there, even if it's electrified. I don't care how tall it is. That's a fucking bear. I don't care. Like I was constantly
bear do bear things.
Bear do bear things.
Bear beats Battlestar Galactica.
Right. Yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of, like when we came to the fence and we were looking at some of the bears, they wouldn't like stand up or like get aggressive. Like they wouldn't like make.
They were just more curious.
Yeah, they would just like, kind of sit down in front of us.
A lot of them like probably were like, oh, they're probably going to get food or something.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah. It's exactly.
They were waiting for like the apples or some shit that we had.
Yeah, and they know that people go around and try to like feed them and stuff like that. And a lot of them are raised like that.
Yeah, that wooden sculpture that was in that like gift shop.
Yeah,
that was real life size too.
Oh yeah,
like that was the biggest bear they've ever had, and that thing was like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, well, if it's a black bear, I don't know about it. Black bears get from like 5 to 8 feet tall.
I know.
If it was like 10 feet.
I think that's
like a grizzly.
I think that thing was a brown bear.
Yeah, there are brown bears up there. So like grizzly bears, like the big fuckers.
Yeah.
The, like brown bears, you'll see up there in like maybe more around like the western side of the peninsula.
Yeah,
but you will see them.
I gotta talk to you about 4th of July off camera.
Oh yeah. How much time do we have on the thing? You want to?
We can end it if we want. We have enough time.
Yeah.
Because we have 15 minutes and this is about an hour. I didn't got much to talk about, to be honest with you. Not this time.
No, yeah, a lot of the stuff we kind of, like, a lot of the college football stuff we wanted to talk about, well, we did that in the first 15 of the last episode.
I believe. If not, we definitely talked about it, and I don't want to talk about it again because I just don't want to.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it be like that.
So yeah, sometimes you get shafted like that.
You know, sometimes you think you're talking to a girl, and then she's like, yo, you want to get pegged? And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Not on the first date.
Ben speaking from experience.
No. No. Sometimes I just say shit knowing it's going to be out of pocket, and I'll just see his reaction to it.
And yeah, a lot of it starts with a blank expression and blinking. And
then the followment of disappointment, and then the smile, and then the chuckles.
Yeah.
You should see us, if we're ever in public, and you see us, and we're just, like, hanging out. Say, for example, we go to, like, a decent restaurant. They always look disappointed.
Oh, yeah. One, I think it's because we're a lot louder than we think we are. So it's like, we'll say something, and it's like, hey, look at how fucking stupid that dude's outfit looks. You like look at him, and he's like looking like in our general direction. So it's like, oh shit, he might have hurt us.
Is that also like if we have like a very cute waitress, we'll say dumb shit.
Oh yeah. We'll like ask questions like, what fucking cheese is in your cheese curds? Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, like who cares?
Just get a beer. Calm down.
Right, yeah. Josh will like to do the move. Well, the move. But like he'll say the line where it's like, if he orders a beer, he's like, "What's your favorite beer?" Like if there's like a different assortment, like different weird like domestic beers on the thing, he'll be like, "What's your favorite?"
She's like, "I drink tequila."
Yeah. She's like, "I don't drink beer." All right, fuck out of here.
You're not cool.
Yeah, you're not lame.
I was telling my friends at Northwood, I was like, I just need a girl that will let me play Hot Wheels on her boobies.
Yeah.
See, I'll say shit like that out in public. It will be at like a nice restaurant.
Yeah, like I need a girl who will bring me like a Lego set.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, guess what I got? And it's like the freaking whatever, like a car or whatever.
Yeah, so we were playing this board game called Catan at Northwood.
Yeah.
And my one friend's really good at it. I was like, guys, you know what would make this better? If just, I know at least two of my buddies had a girlfriend. I didn't know about the other buddy I was with. And I'm single, so I was like, all I want is for like two ridiculously hot girls to walk in here and be like, "Are you guys playing board games?" Exactly.
Yeah. And just sit there and play board games and hopefully develop a relationship with those females.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I could just buy a $5 hooker. Alrighty.